So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're here with LaTisha Robb. You know, we want to talk to our sister here. I viewed her YouTube channel. She has some videos that she was in Burkina Faso, but she is in location right now. I'll let her tell you where she's at right now, and we can ask her questions about that. But LaTisha, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really honored to be here and to be able to have a opportunity to share my story. Let's see, my computer. Okay, sorry about that. I'm glad for the opportunity to be able to share my story.
Well, let's get into it. So, LaTisha, what's your story? I mean, like, where were you born, and what's your story?
Well, I was born in San Jose, California. My story is pretty long. My life is like a trilogy. So I like to say that because I've done so many things in my life. I look pretty young, but I'm in my 40s. I'll be 42 this year. So there's a lot of living that happened. I'm an author. I've written 4 books and published 4 books. 3 of them are self-published. One of them is published through Balboa Press. I'm on Amazon and I'm on Barnes and Noble with the books. I'm also a realtor, real estate broker, and I'm just an all-around businesswoman. I own a boutique here in Puerto Rico. That's where I currently am because I'm transitioning my life from living on the island to Burkina. So I left the United States in February of 2019. So I've been out off the mainland for 2 years already, basically getting myself de-Americanized, so to speak, and figuring out where in Africa to go. So in that 2 years, I figured it out, and here I am on the way there, and this is my journey.
Okay, so what made you leave the mainland? What made you say, you know what? All right, I done had it. What was it?
Well, I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia. So, but I'm from San Jose, California. So I grew up pretty liberal. I grew up very, open. We were the first people to start recycling in the 80s, all that type of stuff, kind of fast. Then I moved to the South because I used to be in the military. So I was an activist. I was on the ground. I was trying to make things happen for the community. And I just saw an uphill battle that felt like I was fighting alone or just with a few people. I was single. I had some children and parents who, my father, his health wasn't that great, and I just felt like the United States wasn't a place for me to thrive. I felt like turning 40. I felt like I don't think I could be able to. I'll be able to do this another 40 years. So I was looking for a place to go. I really wanted to go to Africa at that time, but I didn't know where to go and where to take my whole family on such a journey, such an adventure, without actually being there and knowing where we're going to go. So I'd already been to Puerto Rico a few times and understood that it was still a United States territory, but it wasn't like the mainland. So I thought here would be a good place to start, be a pit stop. It always had been a pit stop in my mind, but something quick that we can get to that I could trust, that we could get back and forth to the United States, to the mainland if we needed to. They've got Veterans Hospital here, so my father, he had state-of-the-art treatment for when he was going through his brain tumor. So yeah, I thought about Puerto Rico because it was close enough but far away enough.
All right, so I'm curious about that uphill battle. Could you describe that uphill battle you say you was dealing with?
I mean, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the activist game. You got people pulling up to places and trying to get their little, photo ops. But actually, when it was time to do something, I mean, I didn't feel like that it was enough of us. We didn't have the correct amount of unity, and the correct amount of people that were really trying to to further the Black agenda, to further, telling our story, or even, getting justice for our communities. I was a part of Black Lives Matter before anybody knew what it was, before 2015. It was a hashtag at that time. There was a lot of controversy about what was going on with Black Lives Matter. You know, I had started something called The Raw Onion, which was a real raw conversation, peeling back the layers of our collective experiences as a community, so we could fix ourselves first from the inside before we could ask anybody to do something for us. We had to, you know, expose our own laundry and within our own selves fix our issues such as colorism within our community, the brown paper bag. You know, I was basically pulling things out, trying to get this ball rolling that, you know, now I see people are probably trying to, but I got burnt out.
Well, you mentioned colorism, and you've been to Burkina Faso, and what other African countries you've been to?
I've just been to Burkina. I've been to Morocco, but I wouldn't consider that an African
Yeah,
country because,
that's
you
nah.
know what I'm
I'm with you.
saying?
Like I
You know
said,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
with you. That's Arabs.
Right.
Okay, Burkina Faso.
Hmm.
So the people in Burkina Faso look like, I mean, skin tone. They look mostly like you.
Yes, yes. There are some lighter skin and darker skin than me, you know, but everyone is, for the most part, is um, dark skin.
Okay, and then when you looked up and you look at all the advertisement, was most of the advertisement was people that look like you?
Yeah, and for the most part, there is not much advertisement. It's not exploited in Burkina like it is in a lot of places.
Mm. So would it be safe to say that going to Burkina Faso versus in America with colorism per se, it would be more of a healing aspect if you just go to the continent and see people that look like you?
Oh my goodness. When I tell you that in all of the 41 years of my life, I've never felt so much love for just being myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was telling somebody, they asked me like, what do you think about the people? You know, like, how do you feel? I said, it's like somebody sent a memo around and said, when American Black people come back, make sure that you're nice to them. Like everybody smiles, and you know, of course they didn't do that, but everybody smiles. You can just feel the genuine love, even though there's language barrier, even though they love you. Everyone does. I didn't feel no hate. I felt all love, inclusiveness, community. You know, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was my experience. Like I said, when I first went, I went to Ethiopia the very first time I went, and I had the same experience. And I mean, I was treated so nice, and even just when I went to that, I rode Ethiopian Airlines, and just the way that I was treated there, I was like, man, they treating us nice. You know, and you felt they were real genuine about it. And even on the airline, how they were treating us, you know, it's totally different. You know, and I'm like, man, you get there and they hear you talking, they say, oh, they say, welcome home and all that. And I'm like, you know, I mean, I don't have no limit to Ethiopia, but hey, they say, well, everybody's African here. You know, this is your home and
The whole thing.
be with us and all that. And I'm like, I never experienced that type of welcoming ever.
Me either.
And
It's
when I
beautiful.
was there, I really felt like, okay, I belong in this land. Like in America, I don't feel this. Was
No,
that your experience?
absolutely. So much so that, you know, it started my process. You know, everybody's like, oh, you moved. I don't know anybody who actually goes and moves the first time they've ever been somewhere, sight unseen, just throw it away. Just like,
Right.
I'm gonna come in. You know, I need to come see first. So, you know, so
Right.
I went and spent enough time to make sure that this is what I want to do. Make sure I talk to everybody I need to talk to, go see what I need to see to make sure. But from doing so, from being loved the way I was loved, from understanding that I have no resistance. It's like being Black, you got to work, you know, twice as hard to get half. You know, in America, over in Burkina, I feel like I have this relationship with my brothers and sisters that they will help me. We will work together to get to where we both all need to get to, versus, you know, someone pushing me down or crabbing the barrel me trying to get, you know, they want to work together. So I feel like my efforts just my existence would be much more smooth at home.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like some of the things people argue about, like you say, you mentioned we were talking about earlier, colorism. They argue about, and I'm like, just go to the continent. There's no such thing as colorism. I mean, it's really not. I'm not saying they ain't got people that could be on there at time somewhere else, but for most part, everybody looks like us, right?
That's right. That's right.
Even it's so many different isms that we deal with that you just don't experience over there, right? And it's like that's why for me, I was so angry when COVID hit because I had 2 trips lined up in 2020. I had South Africa and I had Kenya, and I was gonna hit Uganda too. And I was just so mad because literally I said, okay, the continent is my mental health break. I understood it. Because I went in 2018 to Ethiopia, then I went 2019 to Kenya. So I said, I need to come to the continent at least once a year to process of this wickedness of America. Then I can go back and deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
You better than me because, Puerto Rico was my mental health break. Living by the beach, just looking outside and not having the same energy, like literal frequencies different here. So, but yes, I do feel you about, having that mental break, and there's none of the isms. It's not American colonized. You don't have I think one of the main things that we don't have here is the sense of community. Like community and hospitality are main morals and values of Africans on the motherland, and we don't have that here. So I think that the other, just because we try to get money first and survive because of the way that society is set up, we have these isms to classify ourselves.
And we had all of that. I would say Black Southern culture is the closest thing to African culture. I will say that. But what happened to us was after the civil rights movement and desegregation happened, and now we can all go eat with Massa and all the things that we want to do with Massa now. We took on a lot of his ways. And I believe once we took on a lot of his ways, we walked away from our businesses. We started mimicking him with his lack of morality. It just took us down, literally. It's where you even see us at today. We're not even where we were prior to civil rights movement. Families together, the morality that we had, etc. So I believe in order for us to get right, we need to go to the continent just to get reset.
I agree. And Burkina is working really hard to even have programs available and, to receive us, into the villages, the chiefs, they've getting them all on board. There's 60 different tribes. Basically, when you come home, your idea should be, I want to integrate with my roots. Your idea should be, I want to find out who I am, where I come from, where my people come from, not just to go over there and to, want to escape. It's like you want to really integrate with your roots. And Burkina's doing a really good job through the Bow Foundation to open up, tribal life and the villages and, experiences so you can really understand, get closer to your roots.
Okay, so you kind of sound like our brother Dinah Samir. That's what he liked to do. He liked to get connected with the villages. And shout out to my brother. May he rest in power, Amin Ra. He always talks about modern Africa, and modern Africa is more my speed because of business and because I just like what I'm seeing with modern Africa. And how they're really growing by leaps and bounds, and how they coming up, whether people sleep on them or not. Shout out to my brothers in the village, but this young population that you have on the continent. We have 3 people on the continent right now that work for us, and they have so much talent on the African continent. I mean, are you starting a business over there, or do you have one going?
Absolutely. So yes, I mean, I'm not saying don't do the modern things. I'm saying just know where the roots be, have a connection, or have a relationship. It's important, yes. But I do real estate. I also do commercial business. So like basically the infrastructure issues that are going on, I can help with, and I'm working on some things I can't really disclose right now because of our
Yeah.
agreements. But
Mm-hmm.
I do major business. Yes. So that's another
Good.
reason why I see opportunity in Burkina, because of the things that I do and the players that I can bring to the table. This is the right situation, current condition, that this country's, could use some assistance, some of our assistance.
And one thing that some, and I always try to tell Black Americans this in business, you're gonna win over there on one. The biggest thing you're gonna win on is labor there.
Absolutely. Well, that's the main, that is a big thing. Everybody I saw in Burkina was working. So not only are you going to win on labor as far as the prices, which that you're used to, but you're also going to win when it comes to consistency. I see there everybody's working every day on time. I mean, it was pretty good to see. It was beautiful to see, because they try to make you believe anything, but when you go and actually see with your eyes, you know what's going on. Most people in Burkina are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, because
So
you look at the amount of money you would have to pay somebody in the state I mean, to pay them, decent money. You can get sometimes two or more workers for that one person's salary here, and they'll be actually paid good by you.
that's true. That's very true. And at the same time, I'm working on things like, education and vocational and trade programs, so that at the same time that you're bringing the country up, or bringing up the infrastructure, bringing up, the electricity, bringing up all of the roads, whatever, you're going to need a workforce. You're going to need personnel to man these positions that you're fixing. So at the same time that you're putting in infrastructure of this magnitude, you also put in education avenues so that you can support the industries with the people that are there. You can train them for the next level, basically.
Yes, ma'am. Um, so let me ask you a question. Your family back in America, when you start doing the traveling, what was their response to that?
I've been traveling the world for a while, so I don't think that they figured anything major until I decided I was going to actually move to Africa. Then it was more like, oh well, I'm not surprised because it's you type thing. Most of my friends and family that know me know that this sounds like something I would do, because only I would do something like this.
Yeah, because I noticed that, like, if you, let's say you want to move to London or move to Philippines or wherever, right? Most people say, "Oh, okay," but the moment you talk about going to the continent, even if you're gonna go back and forth, you're like, "You gonna go to Africa?" Like, yeah, why are you having a big deal about that? You didn't have a big deal when I said London.
Right. I think, yeah, I think the response is more wow, and I never would have thought of that. Than for myself. I mean, if you say you're moving to London or Paris or something like that, obviously it has to do with a job or some money or something of that nature. So it makes sense, I guess. But when you say you're going home because it's good for my mental health, I'm going home because it's good for the roots of my legacy. When you have bigger, reasons other than financial or what people can conceive, yeah, that's when it's a wow.
So let's look at all this stuff. I know you watched all the things that happened in the Capitol last week, correct?
Yeah, I saw it. I was in Burkina at the time, and I was mad that people were calling me, texting me, talking about, "Do you see what's going on over here?" And I was across the Atlantic doing me, having a good old time.
So let me ask you a question. Where you think this place is going? What you seeing and hearing all that?
Well, I read the Bible, so the Bible told me where it's really going. But and that's another part of the reason I got up out of there too, because it says in there somewhere to flee, especially when you find out what the new Babylon is. But if you don't, believe in that or not, it's going to hell in a handbasket pretty fast. I just say it like that. Um, I believe that the country is irrevocably broken, like a marriage, that you can't, these people, these people that are going to the Capitol and doing these different things are so off. I mean, there's no common ground with the people that wouldn't do something like that. So it's going to come to a head, and it's bubbling to that point. But I don't see this country being getting better before it gets worse. I'll say that.
Yeah, like for me, I've told people for like, I think starting in 2018, the first time I went, I said, listen, you guys, first thing you need to do is get your passport, right? And I had preached that message. Oh, and I that message was met with so much resistance. Well, we ain't gotta go nowhere. We built America. We this and that. Yeah, but you built it, not for yourself though. You built it for a group of people that don't appreciate crap. And you look at them right now. You talk about the Capitol. Yes, our ancestors built that Capitol, but look at what they done to it. As a recent, feces, urine, all kind of things they did in that Capitol, right? I'm a firm believer of. I believe that we should at least have our passports and at least go and see for ourselves. And I don't think we don't have to say no more than that. Now some people may go down with the ship, and that's fine. But I know black folks, it get too horrible. Now you're ready to move around because they ain't want to go down the ship.
Oh yeah, and then that's the thing with black people. I mean, they don't want to hear you till it's time, and then when it's time, they want you to help them, and oh, help me, like I told you to do these things,
Exactly.
I was giving you, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, the $150 it costs for a passport. You know how many people spent that on shoes and wasted it on things that don't matter?
Weed and Hennessy.
Okay,
On a weekend.
or don't have a birth certificate, don't know how to go down to the register, and figure out how to get your own birth certificate just so you could get your passport. Just the simple things. It's like, if you're not trying to put that much energy into helping yourself, how can I help you on the other side? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. You be chilling over there. Like I said, I got my things I'm working on in Nairobi, and so I said I'm chilling in Kenya somewhere, and they were like, "Man, Phil, what's up going on over there?" I'm like, "I told you to come, brother." I'm like what So I just said that maybe I can get a big enough place, and maybe my family want to come. I have at least a few rooms for them. Maybe. But yeah, you're right.
Better than me. You better than me. You better than me, because I'm out here. I mean, I'm a female single out here making it happen, and and I feel like my mama got a room,
Mm-hmm.
and even she want her own house. So I'm just like, I get it, but how much work it takes to actually transition your family from the United States to Africa as a female, doing it by yourself, I don't have too much tolerance or room for, hey guys, y'all could come too. Especially when I used to live in Georgia, and I used to do the relationship we've already gotten. I'm cool. I've been living in Puerto Rico for 2 years, ain't seen nobody. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, y'all could do you and I could do me, like I'm doing me. And the energy that it's costing me to get here, y'all don't get to boss up on that. Like, no, let me come pull up. It don't work like that. Not in mine, at least. Not in my family or household. None of that.
I definitely hear you. That's just me just being who I am. Like I said, that's usually one of my Achilles heels. Sometimes I'm too nice to certain people, you
I've
know.
been I've been there.
Until you get the other side of me, then you're going to get that side that just you don't want
See,
to see. Yeah.
so I'm not even starting it off that way. I figured, everybody come and there's some reciprocity. You can get down. That's how I'm starting my African content life with some reciprocity, not me just giving. That's over with.
Oh yeah.
Y'all done plugged up and sucked it all out already over here on this continent.
Yeah. Sound like you've been through some things. But let me ask you a question. About Puerto Rico. Well, what's the overall response? You being a black woman in Puerto Rico, like how you treated out there?
Oh man, I'm treated like a queen, a whole royal queen, a whole goddess. Like, look at how black she is and beautiful she is. Like, that's how they look at me every day. And I'd be like, hola.
So you don't deal with no issues and problems. Everybody is cool. Well, I know it's a huge black community out there as well. Have you ran into them?
Yeah, I know exactly where they are. It's in Louisa, and just like any other place in the United States, that's the poorest part of the island, the black area. But it's funny because they know that I'm American. They know that I'm not Puerto Rican. There's dark-skinned Puerto Ricans that are darker than me, and they speak nothing but Spanish, and but they can tell who's who. So there's an inferiority I feel that black Puerto Ricans have to white Puerto Ricans or lighter skinned Puerto Ricans. But I don't have that inferiority. I don't walk around that way. So they already know this, so they give me this other type of energy. You know what I mean? Not the same as they would give the natives, the native black.
So what would they like? Most like a respect deal or what?
Oh, most definitely, and I drive around in a Yukon Denali. I don't look like I'm not doing nothing with my life. I don't look like I'm a bum. I don't look like none of those things. So I guess probably half of the reason they're looking at me is like, who is she? What is she? What is she? What is she doing? I don't know, but I just have an air about me that my head is always up. So people usually deal with you or get at you the way you show them how they should.
Yep, and I believe in moving. I believe in moving like that no matter where I'm at because,
That's great.
but like I said, even if the folks, I don't know if the folks ran into you on the continent, because I remember every time it's happened to me twice. Them folks spot me on the continent, they know the difference with me versus them real quick.
Quickly.
They when they saw me, they were shook the two times they saw. They looked at me like twice, like they said, "Oh hell." These black showing up.
They know the difference right there. Yeah. Look, and even white people, I'll say in America, they know who to try.
Oh yeah.
And who not to. Because I've heard about it, but I ain't personally experienced it. You know what I'm saying? And I lived in the white neighborhoods, and I've been to right there, East Cobb, Georgia. And I mean, the whole neighborhood is white, and I'll be outside with my afro. What's good? So
they know that energy when they see it. I always say that's that Black American energy. We have always been labeled throughout the world as the warrior tribe.
I say we good in any hood. We good in any hood.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was in Kibera last time, and you had these two Mzungu females walking in Kibera like it's a freaking zoo, and I saw them. That pissed me off. And I just started staring at them. And boy, when they made eye contact with me, they just start looking at each other, and it was so noticeable how they kept just staring at me that African Tiger say, why they kept looking at you like that? And I said, because they saw me looking at them. They knew what was up. I said, no. They just really kept looking at you, like they were shocked to see you. And I'm like, yeah, they knew who it's about. I'm not. I said, no offense. I said, but I'm not one of y'all. They know that.
They know. They know.
That's why I say we need to go to the continent and start running these other groups around. All that putting hands on them and talking to them any kind of way. Oh, you ain't about to do that in front of me.
Right, okay, tell me what you had told them. Say it again, so I can show you where you got all of us messed up at. You know, come tell us. Yeah, so that's what I mean about even getting in touch with the roots. You know what I'm saying? Because you just like you going home. Whenever you go home, you go see what's going on. You find out what's going on with Lil Ray, wherever. You know, you get the family business basically. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Go get the business so we can find out who's doing what to who, and so we could figure it out together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, LaTisha, tell people how they could get in contact with you or see your YouTube channel. Maybe they got some questions about Puerto Rico and Burkina Faso. How can they get in contact with you?
Well, I've just started my YouTube channel, but I'm active on Instagram. So if you go to unapologetic_apology, that is my Instagram. And in the bio there is the link to my YouTube. My name is Queen L on YouTube, but I would suggest going through the Instagram unapologetic_apology, clicking that link so you make sure you find me. That's the best way you can keep up with my journey, because I spontaneously go live on Instagram. Like right now, I'm actually live on Instagram telling, having this interview, but on Instagram too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a thing. And then I'll save my videos. I've been trying to post videos on Twitter. So I have several videos there now, but I'm trying to get my followers up. I'm at 300 and some change. And once I get to 1,000, then I can go live on YouTube as well.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you go to the links that we will put in the pinned comment, and then we will ask all the questions that you want. Go follow her page on Instagram. We found her page, so we made sure to follow her.
Thank you.
Everything. So you probably see me today. I just followed you. So
okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty active on Instagram, especially in my story, and randomly I'll go live there. I'll post, and it's a whole lot of content there already right now to catch up.
All right, so everyone, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, make sure you check out that information. And LaTisha, we thank you for stopping by, and you be good.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and maybe I'll come back later after some more developments happen, and we can check back in and see what happened.
Oh, that's for sure.